Hey, what's up? It's Ryan checking in. I'm going to do this a little bit differently today. Usually I do a little like face-to-face intro, and then a training chat, and then a face-to-face outro. I had to get through this workout fast today. I really did. My wife and I, our life is super busy right now. We're running a candle business, and it's honestly the busiest season of the year. So just for this time being, probably a week, something like that, I'm going to make these videos shorter. All I did was film my working sets, and I'm going to do a running commentary over this whole thing. I'm just going to voice over the whole thing. And hey, maybe it ends up being a really cool way to do these vlogs. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. So you already saw my first warm-up set. This is a pull overhead press day. This is day 21 of the Winter Bulk Series, GST microcycle 3 here. So 80% 1 rep max on these first 2 lifts. This is obviously a standing barbell overhead press, and I'm just looking for anywhere from like 3 to 5 reps on these first 2 sets, and then I'm going to AMRAP the 3rd set as usual. So I figure what I'd do, honestly I just thought I'd watch the video along with you, and I would drop tips. Maybe I can remember what I was thinking about during that particular set, maybe not. Just kind of a casual, laid-back voiceover as I take you through this workout. So barbell overhead presses. You know, here 80% 1 rep max is, you know, getting a little heavy. It's not super heavy, but it's enough to where you really got to think about your form cues. You want to make sure you're doing everything right. Stay focused, stay braced. You know, you can always get hurt in the gym, whether you're working with light or heavy weight, but as it gets heavier, a good rule of thumb is just to think that as the weight increases towards your 1 rep max, your focus should also increase as well. So here I'm just thinking about slightly soft knees, giving myself a little suspension for when that bar comes down. I'm touching this bar to my upper chest or getting really close, like within centimeters of it, maybe even millimeters. And then I'm just powering up, trying to push through. This is already the AMRAP set. Like I said, this video, this is going to go quick. This is just exercises, and that's it. So I hit a good, I think, 6 or 7 there, and I'm happy with that because what I like to do is I like to take the goal reps of the first 2 core lift sets and double it, and I like to shoot for that when I'm doing AMRAPs. So if you remember, this is a 3-3 AMRAP type day, so I just double that 3 and I shoot for 6. Moving on, we got chin-ups. All right, chin-ups have been feeling great. 80% 1 rep max again here, so that's body weight plus I got a 25-pound plate hanging there. And I really like to go for full range of motion when I do pull-ups, chin-ups, or neutral grip pull-ups. And you're going to see that. Like, you're really going to see
easy peasy,
the nice full range of motion where I'm pulling up real high. Like, some people just like to get their chin past their hands. I like to try to pull my shoulders to my hands, like that full height where I can't really pull any higher. And then I take my time coming down. I like to try to get full range of motion at the bottom as well. Right now I'm not quite getting that because I am still being a little bit cautious of my left shoulder. I'm to the point where I don't even think about it much anymore, but I can tell if I just fully hang, especially with that extra 25 pounds on this day, I still feel a little bit of, it's not really pain, it's just discomfort that I don't really like.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not going all the way to a dead hang position, but I'm getting pretty damn close, to be honest with you.
You see the height on those? See that range of motion? That's good height.
All right, so I should have the AMRAP set coming up here. I think I went 7. Yeah, and I believe this last rep's going to be a real grinder. But again, you know, I'm going to take this last rep slow, but I do manage the full range of motion. That's the main thing here. So you can see at the bottom, like, I'm not fully dead hanging. I'm not putting my head in between my arms. There's a little bit of holding back there, but it keeps tension on the lat, so I'm really not complaining. I'm never pulling from a slack position here. So here comes, I think, this really slow final AMRAP. But still, I mean, the contraction right there, you can tell that's a slow grinder, but look at the height, though. I mean, my shoulders are at my hands.
That was a clean 7 right there. Man, that last one came up slow, but smooth. Nice full round at the top, even on that last one.
All right, so the 2 core lifts, they're out of the way. They're done. They're finished. Now I'm moving on to another press. This is 15-degree close grip bench press. Now on my bar, I'm putting my pointer fingers right where my knurling switches to smooth. You're going to have that spot on your barbell as well. That's just a grip width reference for you. That's tough to say. Grip width reference for you. And I like that as a close grip width. It works good. Now you know I have the 15-degree up because I'm shifting the focus to my upper chest. There's always twice weekly frequency with GST size. So that's why you see me, this is a pull/overhead press day. But my first supplement, you know, it's not a pull, it's a press. And that's because I get that twice weekly frequency in. And that means on my press dedicated day, which is coming up soon, I do some pulling as well. And that's how I do that. So primary focus here is pulling with some overhead press. Secondary focus is the horizontal press, like a chest focus move, and that's what I'm doing right here. So I don't go with an excessive arch, nothing crazy. You can see I actually try to fight the arch a little bit. I lift my head up and round my upper back, and it really gives me this like nice mental cue. Like I just feel like I'm in this little bubble with my upper chest and my front delts. It just, you know, it just feels really nice. And when I come out of these sets, I'm telling you, man, I feel the top half of my pecs almost exclusively. Of course, you know, I get a little tricep pump, I get a little front delt pump, you know, I get a little lower pec pump, but the bulk of the feeling, the sensation, is in that upper half of my pecs. And this is great. You know, I never used to do this lift. I just started doing this lift like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. I wish I would have started sooner because I just connect with it. I really like it. And yeah, lift your head up, tuck your chin into the crevice between your upper pecs. Like I said, you really feel like you just get into this globe with you and your upper pecs. All right, so here's my first pull supplement, flat bench dumbbell rows, as you can see. The main thing I want to show you and talk about with these is full range of motion. You know, full range of motion, you're going to see that with me all the time. I'm a big fan of it. I really don't do partials. They have their place in some types of training. You know, I just don't do them, and I just don't feel the need for them when it comes to training for size over strength. I primarily train for size because I just rather hold more muscle than train for powerlifting because I don't care about powerlifting. And I honestly think if I was powerlifting, I probably would be injured a lot more often, if not even able to train, because, you know, I'm 43, and if I had been powerlifting for years at this point, I don't think my body would be too happy about that. So I train for size, guys. That's what it's all about for me. So full range of motion. Now you're going to see I'm going to get this dumbbell almost down to the ground, and sometimes I even touch the ground because to me that's a nice depth marker. It's a tap and go, but it gets me to, I straighten out my arm, and you can see I'm letting my left scapula pull forward a little bit. So there's a lot going on there. I'm getting some upper back stretching, my fullest range of motion possible. And yeah, look at that booty too, man. My glutes have been growing lately, I can see. Back to rows. So rows, right here you can see it. I'm coming down real low, reaching down. Another important tip here, I think it's totally worth mentioning, it's crucial, is pull with the elbows, but pull up and back towards the back pocket. You'll see the dumbbell kind of moving in like a quarter circle motion, like tracing a quarter circle line, and that's because it's coming back as I pull up. I'm not just pulling straight up. If I pulled straight up, it would be, you know, it'd be a lot more bicep dominant, and I'd be able to use much less weight. You can't really comfortably pull it towards your chest using your lat, because honestly your elbow would fan out a lot more, and you would end up working your upper back a lot more, like rear delts, traps. So I'm not interested in doing that. I'm doing this for my lats and the muscles of my mid-back, my rhomboids, my lats. So I'm pulling up and back, and you're going to see that dumbbell kind of move in a quarter circle pattern. See, I'm almost pushing it forward at the bottom and then really pulling up and back. You can see it's next to my back leg at the top. So there's quite a bit of movement there. You know, my torso, I'm sure it's a couple feet long. So, I mean, that thing is moving laterally a couple feet. It's quite a bit. That's the main thing I'm thinking about when I'm doing dumbbell rows, along with good range of motion and reach. Just pulling up and back, and then I'm bringing it down and I'm basically tapping it to the floor to maximize range of motion and just ensure that I get full range of motion. So here we go, different angle. I should mention too, I mean, I got the time here, so I should mention, now you're going to notice a little bit of body rotation, like torso rotation. When you're using weight that's challenging you, that's expected. You're not expected to be this like perfectly stable, stationary body that you're only moving your arm and that's it. You have to allow yourself a little bit of wiggle room, and you're going to torque your upper body a little bit from time to time. And I do it a little bit with each rep because, you know, I kind of have to with my full range of motion. I'm reaching down. I'm actually reaching down towards the floor past where my arm just gets straight. And then I'm pulling up. Today, these are 90-pound dumbbells. It's a decent amount of weight. You know, you're going to expect to move a little bit. Sometimes you might even feel your abs after doing sets like this because you want to minimize your movement, but you can't expect to have zero movement. And the more you can tighten up your abs, the more you're going to minimize your movement. All right, next lift. Now, I just have one more exercise that I have footage of. And I'll just say after this exercise, I did some tricep work, and I also did some lateral fly work. So medial delt work. I just want to point that out because that's going to finish this day. It's a 7-exercise day. We had overhead presses, chin-ups, 15-degree close grip bench presses, flat bench dumbbell rows. We had these cable spider curls. Then we had a tricep press down. And then we had the medial delt lateral flies. So that's 7 exercises. That makes up a very growth stimulating day. And it puts me at around 90 minutes for a workout with proper rest periods. I'm resting like anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes between sets. So right here, I mean, we're already coming up. This is the last set. I did 3 sets of this, but I only filmed 2. So this is the last set. And you can see I'm just going to get some nice bicep flex here. But all in all, this is what I wanted to do. I just wanted to hang out with you during this training footage and see how this goes. I've never done a full voiceover on a complete workout before. You know, I'd really appreciate any feedback you have about this format. Like I said, I had to do this format because I was very rushed. I had no time to talk to the camera during this workout. It was just set, film, set, film, set, film, done. And that's what I did here. All right, I'm about done here. I have like 3 or 4 more reps. So this has been Winter Bulk Training Day 21, GST, Microcycle 3, pull/overhead press day. And on that note, I am out.